Ah, yes. It's exciting. An exciting beginning to the High Noon Hemp Show. Welcome, everybody. We're broadcasting live on the Temptations Beach Facebook page. And check us out there every Wednesday, noon Eastern Time, high noon, if you will. Of course, myself, Joe Claire, and Beach, live from Temptations Hemp Quarters. Beach, how's it going?
It is growing fabulously well today, I suppose. Here we are again on the wonderful high noon, Wednesday after high noon. We're after high noon now, I suppose, and yeah, we're ready. I think for another good show. We'll see how it goes. We went pretty weak, and so if I can sustain that, that'd be nice. But no, we'll try to maybe be a little bit more briefer out there for everybody as we run through the show today and try to get everybody caught up on hemp and all the glorious things in the hemp world.
And hopefully, we'll say here at the start that hopefully the tech issues stay at bay. We have a little bit. This is obviously new technology. This is stuff you couldn't even do just a couple years ago. And we're broadcasting from two different locations and streaming on the internet, and it's quite a technological undertaking. But if there's glitches here and there, bear with us.
Bear with us. That's right.
Yes.
We're not getting paid for this, folks.
We're struggling along.
Just to make it very clear that we are, in fact, not getting paid for this. And so, and that's why, that being said, a little disclaimer, I'm not intentionally endorsing any products on the show. No one is paying us to endorse any products. Most of the products seen on the show, in fact, products sold at Hemptations and or are my personal goods. I believe that Hemptations has the largest selection of hemp on the planet. I would also say that if there was a Guinness Book of World Records for hemp products owned personally, that I would also hold that. That being said, last week I kind of gave everybody an idea of, when we started, but I didn't really say, why hemp. And again, Hemptations opened September 1st, 1995. And originally it was actually in April or so. We'll call it April 20th. I don't know if it really was 420 or not, but I'll call it that. I was sitting around with my original partner, and she mentioned she wanted to start a business. And I got up immediately and grabbed my copy of The Emperor Wears No Clothes. You'll see if I move, I think this way, you'll see here I have a copy of the cover right behind me of The Emperor Wears No Clothes by Jack Herer. If you have not read it, I highly recommend it. Jack did as much research as anyone human on the cannabis plant. I picked up this particular copy at a normal festival in the middle of Ohio, probably around, I want to say 92-ish, 93-ish, and carried it around with me everywhere. And so I knew I wanted to sell hemp products. And the book actually at the time had some stuff in the back. And so there were some wholesalers in the back that we could get a hold of. And so that's where a little bit of our products started coming from originally. Was from The Emperor Wears No Clothes. And then, we just had to start venturing, making hemp foods and doing hemp, making hemp products. And again, all that stuff was imported at the time, whether raw goods or the materials, everything was imported because there was no industrial hemp being grown in the United States in 1990. We know that has changed now, luckily. I'll add a little bit more later with yet another little update on Ohio CBD issue, which is really a non-issue at this point. Luckily, as I figured, it really will be a non-issue. But I'll later during the news segment of the show.
Absolutely.
I don't think I really clearly explained why hemp is so good as well. And again, I like to reiterate some of the common reasons. It requires no herbicides or pesticides, so it is organic by nature. Again, you can't call all hemp organic because organic is a soil rating. But there are no chemicals that need to be used on the growing of it because there's nothing that affects the byproduct result at the end of the year when the crop comes up. And so that's just the reason as a plant why. You have the food product, highly nutritional, with the protein content, omega-6, omega-3. The fiber, not the fiber internally, but the fiber externally, the clothing and everything, all those things, times stronger than cotton. Once again, no chemicals. Strongest natural fiber on the planet. I've had someone you, what about silk? And I don't believe that boiling spiders in water is natural. And so that's pretty much, I believe, how you extract the silk and get rid of the spiders that are living in it. But anyway, so, that's why for the fiber, you have construction materials from the fiberboard. My desk is made out of the fiberboard. A lot of the shelves in the stores is made out of the fiberboard. You can use the hurd in the oil, I believe, even in a hempcrete, as they like to call it, mix. So you can build walls, and I believe the only thing we're not sure about yet is actual foundation work, but they're building residents out of it all the time. And so I feel like it's okay. It started. You have the paper products. It takes a paper tree 8 to 12 years to mature for that paper pulp, whereas you can get the same amount of paper out of 4 acres. Like it's 4 acres, maybe, or 1 acre of hemp to 4 acres of trees in 6 months. So all of, we should be going back to, 100 years ago. Hemp was quite, the reason that yellow journalism was called yellow journalism is because they went away from hemp paper and the paper became yellow quickly. It wasn't actually, didn't have anything to do with what the people were reporting on. It really actually was the fact that the paper was more yellow because they changed the content of the paper. And so that's where the term yellow journalism comes from. It was a physical change of the color of the paper. That all happened in the early 1900s. I think I did. I don't know if I discussed William Randolph Hearst and his in the propaganda in his papers, but he had just purchased millions and millions and millions of trees for paper pulp and around the 1930s when they were trying to make marijuana, cannabis, illegal. And so, those were the reasons that drove me to want to support this plant. I still find it so hard to believe that so many people in the world something that grows out of the ground, but
yep.
We live in an overpopulated world, as I like to say, and anything is possible. But we are returning to an agricultural crop that we used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and so that's a little bit about me and the news from the store. Now let's move on to the product spotlights.
Awesome.
Today's product spotlights will start with the Satori movement. These guys are some of my favorite out there. When I get to what I'm wearing today, we'll key on in this, but they do socks and hoodies and shorts and jeans and boxer shorts and a decent amount of women clothing. We have been carrying their goods for probably 15 years now. And I cannot attest any more to the quality of their product. The fact that, they continue to this day with the quality of their product and range of their product. It's quite amazing. I'm sure that you can look them up against Satori Movement. This is stuff we carry in the stores. But I'm sure that you can find it out in the internet world. Next product is the Manitoba Harvest. Speaking of the food and essentially the Canadians, which legalized industrial hemp about 50 years ago, at least, they went crazy with the food product part of it, the grain, because no one was really growing the grain, but everybody knew, everybody really knew the nutritional value. And so Manitoba Harvest was one of the first big food companies that was importing hemp food product into the United States. And again, we've been carrying their product for as long as I can remember. And I guarantee you go to Whole Foods or any of the big places, chances are you will see Manitoba. They do a great job with their products and always have as far as the food products go. And then going from an old school food product to a brand new food product, which I have instantly fallen in love with, is the vegan Parmesan cheese. And so we just got this in maybe a week or so ago. I have already tried some. I believe I've tried at least 3 of the flavors on some hemp pasta. And I actually put the Chipotle cayenne to sprinkle some on top of a burger. And so again, this is vegan. There's no cheese in here. And so for all my vegan watchers and listeners and people out there, this is another one of those great hemp food products. And it's just, I am not kidding when I say that. I'm not exaggerating in any way. Flavorings are great. The original really, I think you would fool anybody with sprinkling this Parmesan on, and they would have no idea that there was actually no dairy involved in it whatsoever. And so the Parma products, that's the new one. And then also our a newer CBD, but again, couple 3 years old, is the Mary Nutritionals. Their products, their transdermal patch is very popular with our customers. Probably the most popular product that they have right beside the Burnout is that transdermal patch. Our customers really like the muscle freeze. They were one of those to make a muscle freeze, and we've been carrying that for a while, as well as the compound. They do a protein powder seed, and then they've actually added CBD into the protein powder, so you could just use that for your smoothie. You'd be getting the benefits of the hemp grain, and you'd be getting the benefits of the CBD. And so those are our products highlights from the store. Too old, too new. And now we'll go to the one product of mine. Last week I showed you the first hemp purchase that I ever made, with a little hemp bag in Kings Island. This is probably one of the most recent purchases that I made that is super cool and I love to show off, and that is my briefcase, customized for Hemptations. Of course, if you know me, you know that I like to customize things one way or another. And so this is the hemp briefcase that I got from the HIA. If you donated enough money, you could get one of these. They are out there. It's the real deal. The Velcro on the inside hold my iPad or a small laptop perfectly. It's got a pouch in the top for papers and anything else. It comes with a strap. I don't have the strap on here. I replaced my strap with a hemp strap, but I'm not sure where that's gone. And so I might have broke that hemp strap using it on this. But and so the hemp briefcase, the outside is made of it's kind of like a hemp glass, like as in fiberglass kind of material, where it's kind of a molded. And so that's all of our product spotlights. Now we can move on to, what are we moving on to, Joe? Tell me.
Let's check the rundown. That's why I write all these things down.
Check the rundown.
Everything I do, I write everything down because I'm in the middle of a show.
I cut him off guard.
Hey, what's next, man? Hey, Beach. What are you wearing?
Hey, what is Beach wearing?
I haven't even grabbed it for it. Look at this.
Bam. That's right. That's the real deal. Hey, what are you wearing, Beach? Today I am wearing, from the head to my feet, a Satori Movement grassroots hat. And so this is kind of a crossover where we have the Satori Movement and then the Grassroots California, who makes, once again, some of the nicest, greatest selection of hemp hats that you will find. I was just in their shop in Chicago, where they have partnered with Dime Bags, and I'm sure Dime Bags will be on here soon enough. And that is an awesome little shop. So if you're in Chicago, in the Chicago area, I highly recommend starting or ending with some hemp purchases at the Grassroots California shop there in Chicago. And then as we move down, we move into a Hemp Equals Jobs t-shirt that we printed here on a Ono tee. I mentioned last week, I believe, Enviro Textiles with Hemp Traders as being one of the leaders in bringing in hemp fiber. The Ono tee is made by them, and they are great, affordable hemp tees. Enviro Textiles really does it right with their product. And so we got to love that. Underneath that, I have on Patagonia shorts. I guess we didn't get the picture over. I did send another picture over to you, but we didn't get that. So
just looking for it, and I cannot see it because the first email didn't have one.
Yeah, I know the first one I didn't include it, but I think the second one, and I don't even know if I finished that email. I probably forgot to do that too. But I did have a nice picture of me and all this stuff. But the Patagonia shorts that I have on, again, purchase made in Chicago at the Patagonia store, and they are actually made with some American-grown industrial hemp. And so, once again, if you're in Chicago, go into Patagonia. They have a whole rack of menswear. They have some stuff for girls as well, made from industrial hemp, and a little bit of the stuff grown here in the United States. Even the young man that helped us out was a little astonished that I actually knew the farmer, Mike Lewis, one of the growing warriors, one of the very first, and I believe he is one of the first federally recognized hemp growers in the United States. He was part of the first year, and it was all on the farm bill stuff. And so that was kind of fun that I got to purchase some of that as well. Underneath my Patagonia shorts, I have on I Love Bad boxer briefs. You can find those on the internet. Again, the company is called I Love Bad, and they make a natural colored and a black hemp mixed boxer brief. And again, I found those. I don't know if it was eBay, one of those two, or something like that. And so you can find those out there. I have on my black Satori short socks, which you can't see anyway. But I do. Those are another Satori product that I love wearing. And ironically, I wore the same shoes that I wore last week because they kind of matched, and I really wanted to show everybody. And we don't have the video for that or the picture for that. So know that I have on Adidas, the black and green Adidas. And again, Adidas drops 6, 8, 10 pairs of hemp shoes a year these days. And so someday we'll get that outfit up there maybe.
Yeah, like I said, by the end, I'm going to double down on what I promised last week. By the end of this little run of shows, we're going to have a full runway presentation. Just got to get it all together.
That's right. It will be all together. We have 12 episodes. I swear by the 12th episode.
In fact, the 12th episode will be all runway modeling by Beach.
That's right. That's right. It'll be that's right. That's all it will be all of the outfits that we were supposed to have seen. I'm just going to run through it.
A lot of costume changes.
And so
skits and stuff in between.
All right. I'll do it. I swear next week we'll have pictures of what I'm wearing so that you can clearly see what I'm wearing. But, know that, again, I wear hemp every day, pretty much head to toe. And so it's not Kentucky basketball season yet. Let everybody in on a little secret. I am a huge Kentucky basketball fan, or at least moderately larger than most Kentucky basketball fans.
As am I, since as long as I can remember.
That's a joke on my height. That's true. And so sometimes I will wear a Kentucky, but more and more I try to wear at least Kentucky blue. in a hemp shirt or a hemp if I can. And so I do have some Kentucky Blue stuff. But anyway, on with the show, folks. We're going to get into the news.
Absolutely.
And here we go with the news. I did mention that I was going to talk about the CBD issue in Ohio again. The Board of Pharmacy did, in fact, 2 days after last week's show on Friday, visit the Hemptations in Dayton.
Wow.
They pretty much reiterated with my employer exactly what I said. The agent who, and this is the funny part, the agent who is actually in charge of his job is to regulate 14 dispensaries in the Dayton area, which he assured us with great passion, I say jokingly, that the very first of those patients won't be in March again. And so he also admitted that they were trying to protect the money spent by their people, like strong arming us to not sell this product so that the dispensaries would sell it.
Wow.
With that, I say, you show me one grower that's going to grow a 0.3% or less THC, high CBD strand at any one of the grow facilities in Ohio, because it has to all be grown in Ohio, and I will stop selling our product. But there won't be one single grower that's going to take the time to grow that 0.3% or less THC, which I think is also funny. My employee asked him, well, what do we do? And the guy actually responded, well, basically nothing. Because again, these people have no authority over anything sold anywhere in Ohio other than the dispensary set up under the medical marijuana board, the pharmacy. And so I also did find something, and this may make it a little clearer as to what once again separates CBD extracted from marijuana and CBD extracted from industrial hemp, and why that CBD extracted from industrial hemp is 100% legal. This comes from the Hoban Law Group. They are definitively one of the greatest enforcers or protectors of cannabis everywhere. In all honesty, so if you ever get in cannabis-related trouble, I would recommend looking up the Hoban. They were part of the group that sued the DEA. That's why they know exactly, and this goes back again 10 years ago. This isn't something new. This is actually old. And I'm going to read this. In the HIA suit, the court unequivocally determined that hemp and derivatives produced domestic under the Farm Bill is not a controlled substance. In fact, the court found Farm Bill, as it relates to hemp, preempts the Controlled Substance Act. I'm sorry, it must have actually came down after the Farm Bill, which would have been 2014. I apologize. So this is 4 years old. Congress created an exception for hemp. Congress created an exception for hemp from the Controlled Substance Act. Farm Bill hemp is not a controlled substance. But what about CBD or other cannabinoids? The DEA briefly clearly states that the DOJ does not seek to control cannabinoids. The only cannabinoids derived from marijuana, e.g., flowers and resins of the cannabis plant above 0.3% THC, are controlled under the Controlled Substance Act and recognize the same. In other words, CBD or other cannabinoids are controlled substances only if derived from marijuana. Farm Bill hemp is not a controlled substance without debate. So there you have it. The attorneys have spoken. If Ohio, once again, if anybody in the state of Ohio wants to challenge the federal law on industrial hemp products, then that will be up to them. But I wholeheartedly believe that, once again, we don't sell anything illegal. We do not sell marijuana-derived CBD. We sell as they call it, Farm Bill hemp. I'm going to start referring to it that Farm Bill hemp derived CBD products, as well as Farm Bill hemp derived food products and Farm Bill derived other things. So
just
there
to
you go.
circle back,
once again,
the person who came to the Dayton store, was there any indication that that was a response to the video about the issue kind of going a little bit viral on Facebook, or it was just like a random thing or anything like that?
No, it wasn't. This is the funniest thing about it is he actually, I kind of left this out. He admitted, and again, he showed us a copy of the letter, but wouldn't let us keep it, which I thought he didn't even give us a copy of this policy of theirs for one thing. And he also showed my employee a copy of testing one of the products. So they got a complaint and listen to me closely when I tell you what month this was. In February. They got a complaint in February, supposedly. Wow. So an agent from the board of the pharmacy came in, bought a product, and they tested it. Guess what? It tested 0.3% THC or lower. Okay? In the same breath that he tells my employee this, he's saying it's a law enforcement issue. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, in February, you took one of our products, you tested it, you came up with a conclusion that this product is illegal, and you didn't notice law enforcement? You didn't tell law enforcement? Once again, if I'm really selling marijuana-derived products or marijuana at all, that's not going to happen for very long, folks. So they tested this product in February. They knew that under their opinion, and again, it's the Board of Pharmacy's opinion of the law. They have no legal jurisdiction, and they have no law enforcement. This is their opinion of the law. I just gave you the actual law. I just read to you the actual law. And so no, supposedly it was a complaint. I heard that they were going, and honestly, I think that they're going around and they're talking to places that are selling a particular product. I'm not going to name that one particular product. I treat all our particular products all the same. And so, the fact of the matter is they actually proved that our products are legal by testing them. And so I find that very funny that they're going to come in and tell us that it's supposedly illegal, and they did testing, yet it's not illegal, and they don't really know what the law is. And so, we're status quo. We're going to move ahead forward. I'm going to continue to sell hemp Farm Bill derived CBD products to our customers who absolutely love them and use them for all kinds of reasons. And that will be that. And that is that.
Absolutely. Hemptations.com,
moving on a little
bit. Don't forget
that's right.
Hemptations.com locations, all that stuff. Facebook, or all over the place.
That is correct. And so hopefully, once again, that clarifies things on that. I know we did have one question after last week's show on that. We had a couple. One person wasn't clear because he still said that all hemp was marijuana. And so that is that. Well, once again, I have proven that not all hemp is marijuana, or is any hemp marijuana for that matter. It wouldn't be legal if it was.
And that's why you should be here every Wednesday at noon on the Hemptations Beach Facebook page for the High Noon Hemp Show to learn.
That is correct. Clarify these things as much as I possibly can. Moving on, bad news, I suppose. The Industrial Hemp Farm Summit that was supposed to happen on September 29th is canceled. Oh. I was going to speak and have a hemp lunch and do some other things, but the actual the event coordinator has had to cancel for more than one reason. I believe that they're going to try to move it to November, and so I will keep everybody up to date on that. Now, the Kentucky Cannabis Company is doing their greenhouse tour this weekend on the 16th, Sunday the 16th. I believe there's a Facebook page, Greenhouse Tour 2018, if you're interested in that. HempX is in Asheville on the weekend of September 21st and the 22nd at Franny's Farm. I have been there. I don't know but I know that last year they did some hempcrete building, a lot of great speakers. Um, Franny's farm is absolutely awesome. um, so for no other reason alone, if you want to take place, and I believe this might be the last HempX. If that's a rumor that I may be starting, but I may have seen something where they may be moving on to other things, and so great for them. They've done wonders in the Asheville, whole state of North Carolina, with industrial hemp, and so they're moving forward. The Southern Hemp Expo is in Nashville, September 28th and 29th. That is going to be by far the absolutely hugest hemp expo on the east side of the country. This is brought to you by NOCO, which has been going on out in Colorado for probably 3 or 4 years now, and very large event centered around hemp. And that is now this year it's going to happen down in Nashville. And so now that the Industrial Hemp Summit is canceled, I may make a trip down there for a day and just check out what's going on.
Nice.
And the last event that I have here is the Kentucky Department of Agriculture Industrial Hemp Pilot Program. Application information. This is going to be an event. It's the Kentucky Department of Ag that's putting it on. It's the Industrial Hemp Pilot Program. Application information and networking session for growers and processors. So if you're in Kentucky and you're interested in growing next year, processing in Kentucky next year, you want to go to this event. It is October 11th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Pritchard Community Center in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, 404 South Mulberry Street. Again, this is something being put on by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture. They start their permit applications very early so that everything is, in fact, okayed with the DEA when it comes to either importing those seeds or saying that those seeds are going to go in the ground. Once again, that's where it gets taken off the controlled substance list. So if you're in Kentucky, that's October 11th. Again, this is through the Kentucky of Agriculture. I'm sure you can go to their website and find more information. But if you want to be a part of the Industrial Hemp Pilot Program, as far as a grower or a processor, then I would recommend going to that event in Kentucky. And I think other than Ask Beach Anything, I'm not sure that I have seen any questions. I think I did clarify the one question that someone had on CBD last week's show. Anybody out there that's watching now, if you have a question that you would like to give me presently, I will take it.
As far as I could tell, the Ask Beach Anything threads on Facebook, nobody responded directly in those threads. So one guy made a comment, but it wasn't exactly a question. But yeah, anytime you see Ask Beach Anything or anything like that on one of the Facebook pages, obviously there's a lot of them. Put your question in there. We'll answer it on the High Noon Hemp Show every Wednesday, noon Eastern Time, on the Hemptations Beach page on the old Facebook.
And you can go to hemptations.com and go to the contact me page. Mm-hmm. I get those emails, so if you're out there and you want to email me something, I will not be attending. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say I'm not going to be at the Kentucky event. Excuse me. I may go down to the Kentucky event just to educate myself a little bit. I don't own any property. We've been looking into it as far as growing. If I was going to do something, I would grow. I don't necessarily want to be in the processing part of it unless it's maybe the fiber processing, which would love to encourage out there. But, that's at the end of the list. Most people are going to process for the grain, the food product, or CBD. So I don't want to say that I'm not going to go down for that event just to see maybe what's going on in Kentucky. But again, if you're out there and you live in Kentucky, then I would definitely, if you're interested in growing or processing, getting involved in that. The applications for growing, I believe, are actually going to come out the week before. So I believe if you go to the Department of Agriculture, you can download a copy of the application. If you want, again, be a grower or processor, I believe it's the beginning of October. So, just kind of wait, and I'll remind you. Then you can, get that form, look over it, bring your questions to them. I'm sure if you have any, I'm sure that they will do a great job at educating you, because they are encouraging as many farmers to grow industrial hemp as they can right now, honestly. And I love that, because they see it as a resource. They see it as growth to a farming industry that struggles with some of the crops that they grow. And so that's why I would encourage anyone that wants to be a part of this industrial hemp movement in the United States to move to Kentucky, for that matter, because they really know what they're doing. Is Beach planning to open an East Coast store anytime soon? It's not in the works, but I can tell you, if we do, it'll be around the Hartford, Connecticut area. Probably a nice suburb.
There you go. Hartford, Connecticut. Start a petition.
Hartford, Connecticut, one of the most unsafe towns in the entire country, ironically. But I know that's where the question's coming from, and so
we need more hemp products. That's the problem.
I promise, it's
CBD.
That's it's true. And again, it was. I've always said that everywhere needs a Hemptations, and this was before even the CBD products was, I think, is one of the most essential, besides the food products, industrial hemp products that we sell. And so I would love to have a store in every major, minor, tiny town, from the East Coast to the West Coast, for that matter. So,
absolutely.
All right.
One day.
All right. Well, one day, folks, and you bring real money to the table, and I will sell you a franchise, and I can almost guarantee you will succeed if you let me do everything that I can do to help a Hemptation succeed. And so, anybody that really wants a Hemptations franchise, you want to sell what we sell, be who we are in any city in the world. It's not going to be cheap, but it's not going to be expensive. It's not $1 million.
May even have the privilege of being on this show.
Maybe 99.99. But I will definitely talk about your store on this show if you open a Hemptations franchise anywhere in the United States. So Absolutely. You've got that going for you.
All right. So if you don't have anything else, Beach, that's going to do it for the High Noon Hemp Show every Wednesday, noon Eastern Time. Hemptations Beach Facebook page, like, share, comment, all that stuff. There'll be other shorter videos, clips of the show. Obviously, you can share those as well all over the Facebook, some on the Twitter, and then any other social media networks you have now. I know there's dozens of them, so go share them wherever. All the hemp pages on Facebook, that's another great place to share videos, and be here every Wednesday.
Correct. Stuff. And all I can say is reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything out of hemp. Everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations?
Absolutely. We'll end it there. Thanks, Beach. See you all next week.